You won't regret clicking on this video. What you're about to see will shock you. A car door, likely from a stolen vehicle, parts from a mechanical system, a lifting mechanism, and many other discoveries that will keep you hooked. The YouTube channel Hooligan Outdoors UK is a YouTube channel from the USA featuring Steve, a guy passionate about magnet fishing and metal detecting. I really appreciate the content he makes and the effort he puts into making the best discoveries. In this particular episode, he makes an interesting discovery, the kind of discovery where when you see it, you ask yourself even more questions about how it got there. Specifically, he found parts of a car. Let me show you.
Ladies and gents, this is what we first found. I've not pulled one out before. We pulled out an old car door, still intact with glass, and it was actually wound down at the time it went in. You can't get anything off of it, it's been in there such a long time. Yeah, old car door. There was obviously another car door in there, because we got the pane of glass here, look. Still intact, not sure how. This, before it was completely destroyed, big square, their wheels, look, to move car bits around, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, like a trolley thing.
Yeah. Car jack, another one. This is all part of the other car door. And this bit though is the heaviest bit. Is this big cog of something. I don't know what it would have been off of, but it is heavy as hell. Getting that out was a bloody nightmare.
How did those pieces get there? A car door, a jack. I would suspect that in that river, the entire car is hidden, which fell apart on its own over time due to contact with the water that caused rust. Pretty much all the objects there are scrap metal, so I'd estimate their value at a maximum of $50. But at the end of the day, it's money you don't find just anywhere. What do you think? I'm waiting to see your theories about this car in the comments, and I'll pin the most interesting one. This was just the first discovery. I've got more coming, so stay with me until the end. The YouTube channel Aquachigga belongs to one of the veteran magnet fishing creators in the States. What I like about him is that he fishes straight from a boat, a much more adventurous and demanding style, since he has to keep his balance while pulling heavy items from the bottom. In this particular episode, he pulls up something that at first glance looks like a gear wheel, what we usually call a cog or a piece from a larger mechanism. Let's take a look. Maybe you can help me out.
There's some good weight to it. Here it comes. It's a wheel or a cog. I guess that's a cog to some type of... I don't know. Don't know what that is for sure. It's a treasure. Alright, so far we have a couple lures and an axe and a bunch of junk. So we'll try in this little area right here.
If you've made it to this part of the episode, comment old wheel. These gear wheels were used in all kinds of old mechanisms, mill systems, farming equipment, early industrial machines, or transmission setups from decades ago. The shape of the teeth suggests it was part of something that transferred force, either through rotating motion or as one component in a larger set of gears. In river areas, finds like this are pretty common, especially if there were old bridges, factories, dams, or water mills nearby. It could be an industrial relic or simply a piece that broke off an old machine. It's hard for me to pin it down exactly, so I'm asking you too. What do you think it is? A gear wheel, part of a mill, or something else entirely? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm curious what the community identifies. Stay with me to see a truly interesting discovery. A lifting system. Phoenix Magneteers is a YouTube channel from the United Kingdom. What I like about them is that they post new videos every Saturday at 8 p.m. And at the center, we always have the same likable duo, husband and wife, two people who simply enjoy magnet fishing together. In this particular episode, they pulled out a pulley. I know I already showed you one earlier in this episode, but I'm surprised how often these things are found. Basically an old, heavy piece of metal with a wheel mechanism once used for lifting weights. Pulleys like this were used on boats, in industrial buildings, at ports, or even on old bridges to move large loads with less effort. Basically, it was a force multiplier before modern equipment came along. Let me show you the discovery.
Nice.
Just had
Wow.
a pulley. Oh, I'm so happy with that.
Nice, that one.
This pulley might have been part of an old docking installation or even a lifting system used on a small vessel. The area where they fish is known for boats that were constantly coming and going, so it's very possible this pulley was lost many years ago when someone was working on the shore. Or maybe someone tried to fix something, dropped the pulley in the water and said, "Forget it, maybe nobody will notice." Well, 10 years later, Phoenix Magneteers noticed. Do you think this pulley came from a boat, a port, or maybe an old industrial mechanism? I'm waiting for your thoughts in the comments. You're only halfway through. Stay with me until the end for more fascinating discoveries. Virginia Magnet Fisher is a YouTube channel that started posting magnet fishing content about 2 months ago, and I wish them a lot of success because if they stick with it, they'll definitely make it big. In this particular episode, they find an interesting object, specifically a lever action gun part.
No way. Guys, that's the lever action. That's the trigger. That's the lever action off of a gun. Probably a BB gun or a pellet rifle for as thin and as light as what that is, but I believe that's what that is. I just saw that, and I thought that was a pair of scissor handles. And I thought that was the blade. But when you turn it this way, that looks like the trigger. And that's the lever part of a lever action, I'm assuming, a BB gun. Because it's awful thin and light, unless...
Lever actions first appeared 165 years ago, back in 1860, and they're famous from cowboy westerns. Exactly those guns that would cock after you pulled the lever in that super iconic motion. What he found here is an original component, and if you look on eBay, similar pieces sell for around $52. So it's not a bad find at all, especially for a channel just starting out. I'm really curious how it ended up there. Maybe lost while hunting, maybe dropped in the water decades ago, or maybe it's part of an old gun that was taken apart. Tell me in the comments what theory you have. Stay with me to check out the next discovery. A communication station used by the police. Shannon is the host of the Metalfish TV channel, a channel dedicated to magnet fishing, which he does together with his girlfriend Betty, and the two of them always manage to pull up something interesting. In this video, they find something that doesn't look important at first glance, but when you think about it, the story behind it might be pretty cool. They pull out an old police car radio, the kind officers use to communicate during cases, or when they wanted to sneak out for a donut break. Let's take a look at the find.
Oh, it's CV, baby. Look, CV. Another one. Yeah, it's the second one of these I've actually caught. I caught one at the river about 7 or 8 months ago, probably. Look, check it out, guys. I guess we need to throw out a couple more times here. What's that lady doing? We're out here in the middle of nowhere, and it's like this is not a good area, and we got some sketchy people just driving by and just stopping and stuff. So, unless they're fans of Metalfish TV, I don't know what else they stopped here for nothing for, so we're kind of keeping our eyes peeled. But anyway, check that out, guys. Up. It didn't last long. Cord came right out of it. It's cool though. It's probably looks like it's out of a police ride or something, Betty. Yeah.
This radio was basically a communication hub for police officers back in the day. Before mobile phones and digital systems, officers used radios like this to talk quickly about cases, call for backup, or coordinate while out on patrol. Imagine that. Instead of sending a simple text, you had to search for an open channel, wait for someone to answer, and then clearly transmit every detail. Can you imagine using something like that during a normal day at the office? Do you think it would have been complicated or kind of fun? You're getting close to the end. I saved something more interesting for the final discovery. We're moving on to the next find from the channel Bobby Guy Films, a great American channel where Bobby goes magnet fishing together with his dad. I honestly appreciate their family vibe. You can tell it's more than a hobby for them. It's something that brings them closer, and that's a big part of the charm in their videos. Let me show you what they pulled up in today's episode.
Get it up yet? What in the... No way. Literally, where'd you hook onto that? You hooked onto it all the way out there. Wow, a ball peen hammer. Look at all the nasties on it down low. Oh, it doesn't even look that old. So that looks like new electrical tape. Wow.
This is what a ball peen hammer looks like. It's not a regular hammer. It has two sides, a flat face for standard strikes, and a rounded one used especially by metal workers, mechanics, and people who shape and bend metal. The rounded end is used to tap metal into form without cracking it, and the flat side works well for rivets and more delicate parts. It's interesting because this type of hammer doesn't end up in the water by accident. It's not like a knife falling out of a pocket or a spinner lost while fishing. Ball peen hammers are workshop tools used in fabrication, fine mechanics, and even engine work. If one shows up in a lake, there are two clear possibilities. What do you think? Was it lost or disposed of on purpose? I'm curious to read your thoughts. Make sure you subscribe.